On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Crazy going on in LA, Los Angeles. We've got a lot of video to cover, a lot of information to get through, but this is not playing out well for the deep state's image. This will, from an optics standpoint, further hurt the progressive communist movement that's happening within this country. So again, a lot to talk about and a lot to be concerned about. Like I've got just a very short little fun video I'm going to play too. Fun, I don't know, call it what you want. But yeah, we are going to get the ball rolling here. So I try to pull my head out of my arse. Israel says it's going to block Gaza-bound aid boat carrying Greta Thunberg. She's showing up with this big armada, humanitarian ships, they're calling it. Literally, Israel's not going to let them. And I would assume they will either board them and arrest them if it has to be. But I don't know. I don't know what the activists are willing to do, or if they technically would, try to sink them or something crazy like that. Very interesting. Israel doesn't like to hold back, that's for sure. Now, some interesting stuff, and we're going to cover, I think, some more of it in another section of this show. But Musk apparently is deleting some of his posts claiming that Trump was at Epstein Island. This post has now been deleted. I would assume there was a reach out basically saying, look, here's the dealio. You keep that post there and we literally will sue you for billions of dollars, bro. That's absolute horrible what you're doing. So he pulled that back. Elon Musk is taking a step back from things. So again, some craziness that's going on. We're going to get more into that story here coming up in a little bit. In fact, I think next for that matter. This is something that concerns me greatly. This is something that I can't warn enough about. And unfortunately, this is something that I think is going to play a direct role in the thinning of the herd. That's going to happen. We've talked a lot about people that aren't going to make it. We've talked a lot about people that aren't ready to make it. We've talked a lot about graduation, if you will. One of my big concerns or thoughts has been how does this split occur, this separation? Death always made sense, but how do you do that without, a war or something, which I am hugely against? This popular weight loss drug, I think, could very well play into that. I think a lot of people are going to take this as Ozempic, Wegovy, and I don't know, Rybelsus. I have this strange thought or vision or whatever of people where it supposedly turns off this weird switch in your body and kind of helps you not process food the same way, like you waste more of it or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but something to the effect of it takes your it lowers your, I think, desire to eat too, but it just takes what you have eaten and sort of seems to not digest it as much or whatever, and which thusly is less calories are consumed or kept, I guess. But my concern is that becomes switched off for good, and these people just start to lose weight, and start to, you know what I mean? Like I saw images of like people with like saggy skin and stuff, and I'm just like, oh man. So I don't know. This is one of those things where it's probably not going to play out well. So I would be very careful. If something took you years to become, and maybe it was a bad habit and everything, but it took you years to become nasty, don't expect to fix it in seconds. If you do, it's probably going to be less healthy for you than if you try to fix it over time. I mean, you can maybe try to speed it up a little, but be real careful about that one out there, guys. I know a lot of people are overweight, and we're always looking for an easier way to handle that, and I would just be very careful. All right, so Elon Musk body checked a Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent. This story is coming out now. Apparently, they both had a play for, let's see, it was called a fraud. It was how the whole heated scuffle broke out. Apparently, it had to do with how they were going to handle the Internal Revenue Service. Musk had his idea. Bessent has had his idea. Trump with Bessent. It pissed off Musk. Apparently, when they walked outside of the Oval Office, Musk nudged him hard in the ribs. And Bessent, I pushed him back, apparently. Bessent's a big dude, too. And apparently wasn't taking that shit. And dadgummit, for a banker, he's pretty tough, one would say. Especially with that style. He's just oh, really, darling. It just seems like he'd talk like the guy from Monopoly Man, but whatever the case is, this pissed Trump off because he basically heard what was going on. And this is supposedly what kind of led to a lot of the breaking up of these two. Now, again, Elon Musk is doing some stuff, weird posts, deleting some stuff, but he had this, what's the apology for exactly? Be precise at Elon Musk. I know he's talking to himself, I guess. Will apologize profusely as soon as there is a full dump of the Epstein files. Right? Of course, he's deleted a lot of this stuff. It's all been deleted. Talking about you went to Diddy parties, Mass told 50 this and 50 told Trump. That's why you were kicked out of the White House. Mark this post. It'll all come out. So, yeah, if there's any truth to any of this stone throwing, Elon Musk, likely because of the family he grew up in and the fact that he was wearing that suit, the devil's whatever warrior, or whatever the hell that weird-ass costume was that he liked using as his background for a long time. Now, two of Trump's haters, for that matter, have come out. So, former attorney Michael Cohen said Epstein allegations with Trump are complete nonsense. Cohen testified, said zero knowledge of any relationship between Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. I have extensive knowledge of Trump being by his side for almost a decade and a half. I'm telling you it's nonsense. To the best of my knowledge and everything that I know, it's not true. We also had Epstein lawyer David Schoen saying Jeffrey Epstein had no incriminating evidence on President Trump. It was important to Jeffrey Epstein to make clear to me that he did not have any bad information about President Trump. He didn't like people being falsely accused of having been associated with him in some illegal way. This isn't surprising, considering Trump's DOJ is the one that arrested Epstein, and Trump is known to be the only one who openly cooperated with Epstein victims' lawyers in 2009. Trump's one of the only ones that's actually tried to help move this forward. So Musk's attempts at pinning it on Trump is, one, likely false. Two, could be based off of some of the salacious rumors like we heard about back where Trump did get on the plane once, but they didn't go to Epstein Island. He never went to the island. And in fact, Trump's actions outside of the island with kicking Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago and all these different things. I think there's more things to suggest Trump is not who they're accusing him of. And if it is, let it come out, by the way. I hope it does. But the other side of this is Elon Musk might not be the choir boy that he's been trying to make it out to be as well. Now, I think there was some discussions about the drug use and everything else. So there's a lot of issues going on around Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Obviously, rugby chucking somebody or whatever you check, rugby checking somebody in the ribs that you're professionally working with is asinine. So again, there's a strong chance that Musk has kind of lost his stuff because the dude's the richest man on earth. I'm sure he's got a bit of an ego because of that. He's used to always controlling the room, the situation, except it's different when you're Donald Trump and you're the president of the United States. You are, unfortunately, Musk, a much bigger deal. So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of weird stuff going on this. I think personally it was either a blessing in disguise that needed to get these two pulled apart because of just potential problems down the road, or it just straight up is, Musk being an idiot. And Trump's got the goods to back it, and really Musk doesn't. He's kind of being like a baby, which he's got an autism spectrum. It's not uncommon for people like that to kind of lash out in inappropriate ways. That's a lot of what we're seeing. So who knows where it actually goes from the big picture, but it will continue to hopefully simmer down. That's what it seems to be doing. Majority of voters approve of Trump's deportation program. This is from a CBS poll. 42% yes, it's a good idea. 27% say there's no change. 30% said it was made the country less safe. So even in a CBS poll, a 12% higher number. I mean, it's a big split too, but 12% higher number that people are doing the right thing with what we're seeing happening right now. Now, before we get into all the LA stuff, I just wanted to do a quick reminder of Healthy Home, or Heal Thy Home. I love this product. I love it a lot. I actually think it's making a huge difference in my life. And the more I'm using it, like I had this little thing on my chest. I don't know if that's the parasite cleanse or the fact that I actually started using the peptides. I kept forgetting to do them. And the girlfriend's been doubling them up. And so I'm actually seeing improvements on her eye thing. So anyway, these products are amazing. And the way they're affecting my life is also amazing. I was having pains in my shoulder because of dislocated shoulder. It's not hurting anymore. I'm doing the gym. Awesome. I've actually gone up a stack on a couple different of the machines. So yeah, moving up in the right direction. Stem Active's a real easy way, and one thing that I am using to help. Stem cells are the cells that can become other cells in your body, meaning when you need to heal a part of your body, like a lung or a heart, you need a new cell to form on that lung or heart. Well, lung and heart cells are apparently damaged, right? So what you do is stem cells run in as, kind of non-biased cells, if you will, and they become a lung cell or a heart cell, and that's it. They become that forever. So stem cells are the way we heal. What this does is it adds more stem cells from the way your body produces them. Your body produces more stem cells rather than adding stem cells to you. That would be kind of like, usually they're from stem cells from fetuses, which is pretty disgusting. This isn't adding stem cells in your body. It's causing your body to create more stem cells, would be the better way to say that. So check out the Stem Active. The gel I think is a little cheaper, and it's the liquid essentially. And the Stem Active pills are what I like because it's just frankly simpler. It is what it is. Balance for the ladies. If you're having a hard time with that change in life, with the hormones are getting weird, this isn't putting any hormones in you either. This is plant-based products. It's actually making a huge difference in a lot of ladies out there. It's a transdermal lotion. Literally, you put a little on your wrist, you rub your wrists together, and that's it. You're good. You're golden. It's that easy to use, and you're good. You're sleeping better. Your moods are better. You're getting along with others better. Your temperature is staying a little more calm and consistent. This is an awesome. I mean, it's just, again, there's a lot of women that are talking about how great it is. I kind of feel weird talking about it, but there's a lot of women talking about how great this is. Sleeping better is a big one. Certainly, I know relationships have improved. Collagen peptides, if you got saggy skin, like all these people taking Wegovy or whatever, that Ozempic, you're going to have sagging skin. You're going to definitely want to get on this collagen peptide before you pass away from the shot. Sagging skin, sore muscles, joint discomfort, lifeless hair, you want to grow your nails faster? This is one of the best peptides out there, collagen peptides, I should say. It is amazing, tastes delicious, and again, this is making a huge difference in what skin grows from the inside out, right? So if you've got any sort of weird blemishes and stuff, this can actually help with that too. Lot is going on in the body, and if you treat the body right and you make sure you get the parasites out of there and everything else, you're looking for a much better experience and a much better ride. Prime, just energy. It's awesome. It helps expand your blood vessels. It's just amazing what it does. It's a nitric oxide booster, and it just, gives more energy. Big time more energy. Also helps with libido and stuff like that, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And rather than a minute, it's going to take a minute 20. There you go. Much longer, right? They're 33% longer. Stem Active for pets. This is another one. You got a pet that's gone through surgery or any sort of injuries, hip dysplasia, arthritis, stuff like that. This actually helps a lot. Unfortunately, it's harder to get the pets to tell you that it's making a difference, but hopefully you'll notice the difference within them. You'll notice they don't seem to be limping, or they don't seem to be walking funny. They seem a little more play in their step, right? You'll notice these types of things because it does the same thing that it does with us humans. It enhances their stem cells, which enhances their own healing. Again, I don't know how this is given. I don't know if it's a powder that you put on your food. I honestly don't know. It seems like a small box based off the image. But it is less expensive than the regular one for humans, that's for sure. And it's a great way to try to help your pets find better health. Go to danradiostyle.petclub2. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. That's danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. That's not it either. Look at this. I'm going to figure it out, folks. It's this one down here that says Healthy Home that I refuse to click on. Yeah, that's the one. Let's try that again. danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. That is danradiostyle.healthyhome.com. Make those healthy choices for healthy living because, man, there's a lot going on. And the stuff they're trying to do to us right now is certainly not positive in any way, shape, or form. Now, this dramatic footage of this individual waving the Mexican flag it's one of those things that I think is going to forever stand out about this. You got smoldering, burning in the background, bunch of police cars, and then this dude with a Mexican flag. This is going to eat up a lot of people in the country, even people, hopefully, that are living in this state here. So Andy No talking about kind of what was going on. Basically, a bunch of far-left rioters surrounded an ICE facility on, I believe it was Friday night, and began causing damage and all sorts of damage. This was nothing protest about this. This was an attack on an ICE facility, and people were literally fearing for their lives. Good God, was this filmed by the Blair Witch Project people? Jesus. Anyways, Carolyn Levitt, in recent days, violent mobs have attacked ICE officers and federal enforcement agents carrying out basic deportation operations in Los Angeles. These operations are essential to halting and reversing the invasion of illegal criminals into the United States. Pete Hegseth, violent mob assault on ICE and federal law enforcement are designed to prevent the removal of criminal illegal aliens from our soil, a dangerous invasion facilitated by criminal cartels, aka terrorist organizations, and a huge security risk. This is, I think, where he does the National Guard. Wow, this one post had everything. Like, I got all this stuff kind of repeated. Whatever, we'll skip through it when we get there again. But under President Trump, violence and destruction against federal agents and federal facilities will not be tolerated. It's common sense. The Department of Defense is mobilizing the National Guard immediately to support federal law enforcement in the United States, and if violence continues, active duty Marines at Camp Pendleton will also be mobilized. They are on high alert and also reasonably close. What's interesting about this is the mayor and the governor, the mayor Karen Bass and the governor Gavin Newsom, they never approved or asked for the National Guard. In fact, they were against it. They said this would incite and make it worse. So literally, we've got Newsom and Karen Bass letting this violence occur towards federal law enforcement officers. The people that are all pissed off at J6ers for doing stuff against cops are the same people that support doing stuff against cops. The friggin' hypocrisy is so redonkulous. There's just no touching it. There's no comparing. I feel like we missed one here. Gavin Newsom saying federal government is taking over the California National Guard and deploying 2,000 soldiers to Los Angeles, not because there is a shortage of law enforcement, but because they want a spectacle. It took the LAPD police department, state-run police department, took them 2 hours to respond to the attacks that were happening against ICE officials. There's hundreds of agents inside that building that they surrounded. Took 2 hours for LAPD to respond. Gavin Newsom says Secretary of Defense is now threatening to deploy active duty Marines, damn straight, on American soil because you can't govern, Gavin Newsom. You are such a danger to the people of this state because of your policies and your stupid immigration issues that you've got that you're forcing the people of this state to endure. It's not going to work. These sanctuary policies are not going to work, and they're not going to be allowed anymore. We're going to destroy you, Newsom, in the political arena, sir, of course. Jennifer Siebel Newsom. These sweeps in Los Angeles and across the country are heartbreaking. They were staged to inflame and intimidate. They still instill fear in immigrant families, Californians who had to work hard and pay taxes and are essential to the life and heart of our state. They should be here legally, not running around with friggin' Mexican flags, but running around with American flags. Of course, our wonderful Mayor Karen Bass is causing problems.
Outrage that this has happened. Of course, what happened here, I think, was probably the worst. There were a number of locations where ICE raided today. And, you know, to me, when these things happen, it sows a sense of terror in the community. It's bad enough that it happened at this location, but the way this goes and spreads throughout the community, then people are not sure where they're safe.
If anyone that lives in Southern California, you know, not L.A. You're definitely not safe in L.A. Hell no. Yeah, so Pete Hegseth, we already talked about that one. Here's a Democrat L.A. City Council member talking about even more enhanced activity from the people. They tried to spin this up so much. It's not quite what I had in... Ugh, good Lord, really? Not quite what I had in mind. Let's try this again, though. Yeah. Oh, cool.
They know how quickly we mobilize. That's why they're changing tactics. because community defense works and our resistance has slowed them down before. And if they're escalating their tactics, then so are we. When they show up, we gotta show up even stronger. They know how quickly we mobilize. That's why they're changing tactics, because community defense works and our
I just love watching the dude try to get around this big fat chick. Talk about Ozempic. Oh, anyways, yeah, so, yeah, just trying to get people even more fired up about this. Democratic Rep. Torres blames ICE for LA riots and the chemical weapon attack. Literally. We're getting ICE, get the F out of LA so order can be restored. No. We want ICE here to help get order restored. You're out of order, Norma Torres. I don't give a shit who you are and who voted you in. They didn't vote you in for illegal immigrants. First off, illegals aren't even supposed to vote. So assuredly, that's not who and what your constituents want. You are tone deaf to what's going on. It's just another one of these people that just everyone's racist probably too. I don't know. She claimed that ICE was using chemical agents. Of course they are. They couldn't breathe. We can't breathe.
ICE get the fuck out of LA so that order can be restored.
Right. So she's, talking tough. This is where I think their building was getting gassed. And she's like, they're using chemical agents. Yeah, they are, you idiot. Of course they are. And I don't know, you get a gas mask or something. That's what you got to do. We even got Cory Booker. I don't want to play it, but I probably should just to hear him say it himself, but I can't stand him. And I can't wait that long for him to talk. Cory Booker literally just went on TV and claimed that the riots in Los Angeles are peaceful protests, once again. But he also called MAGA cop killers. Us cop killers. Again, not okay when anybody kills cops, not okay when anybody fights cops, but we've got Congress members right now that have charges against them for pushing a cop and assaulting and battery of a cop. We've got numerous issues of people in the streets doing harm to police. In fact, I've got plenty of video to share. Got Homeland Security is urging Democrats to tone down the rhetoric as ICE officers are getting assaulted in Los Angeles. Literally, because of what politicians are saying, people are getting fired up and literally attacking federal law enforcement agents because they don't like what they do. That's why they think it's okay to attack those cops, because we don't like those cops. But the January 6th cops, totally different. Those cops are awesome cops. Oh, is that how the game's played? Antifa? By the way, there's some discussions about maybe making Antifa a domestic terrorist organization, in which case we could immediately shut them down. And I think there's a lot of phone scanning and stuff going on. In fact, one of the videos we had, there was an image of people knocking down one of these new police towers. They've got all sorts of sensors and stuff, and they're usually up about 15 feet or so, 10 feet, whatever, 15 feet probably. Yeah. Looks like they raise up on a scissor kind of thing. Little building. There's nobody in them. They've just got all sorts of tech inside. But they're scanning phones. They're doing a lot of stuff. I think they're trying to gather information. I think they're trying to keep it on the down low until it's time to move. That's what a lot of this stuff is for. I think they're trying to figure out how they're organized, so they're doing that from the back end. We're seeing how the web is moving, how they're using phones, how they're using wireless networks, how they're using a lot of different things. The technology's being scanned. They're figuring it out big time. So last night there was over 1,000 rioters. This is Saturday night. Here's Tom Homan talking about how he feels about this nonsense.
Tom, I wonder if you can speak to that a little bit. Explain to us more, help everyone understand the threat that our ICE agents are facing by just doing their job, why they need to wear these masks, and also what actions need to be taken against Democrats who are demanding that they be unmasked, and what would happen if they do dox them and at least publish their identities.
Look, it's incredible. We're at a place where the guys, the men and women who enforce the law, they're the bad guys, and the ones who break the law are the victims. You kidding me? How come they didn't say anything about BLM? They're out there. They were a mask. How about the protesters, all the college campers? They were protesting against Israel and the Jewish students. They were wearing masks. I didn't hear a word about that for what these protesters wearing masks. But ICE agents are wearing masks for one reason, because the assault on ICE officer is up over 400%. the assault on ICE officers. They're being doxxed across the country. And their families are being attacked. Their families are being doxxed. Their families are being threatened. And I certainly understand it. I allow death threats. I've been doxxed. My family's been doxxed. I understand it. But they're wearing masks for one reason only: protect themselves and their families. They're doing a dangerous job. This is already a dangerous job. They got to wear a gun. They got to wear a Kevlar vest every day because they're doing a dangerous job every day. While the rest of these people, like Hakeem Jeffries, is sleeping in his bed at night at 3 a.m., nice and comfortably and safe, there's men and women of ICE on the street doing surveillance on significant public safety threats, really bad characters, and national security threats. They're taking it on every day. The men and women of Border Patrol standing on a dirt trail every night, 3 a.m., taking on the bad guy. So this is another threat against ICE agents, and we're asking the Department of Justice to look at these statements and see if there's something we can do. When do you cross that line on threatening ICE officers? And here's the problem. You know, you got all these people now attacking ICE. You saw they're writing death to ICE agents. ICE agents been threatened. Their families been threatened. And you got members of Congress. You got some judges out there that compare ICE to the KKK, ICE to the Nazis. You got city council people saying ICE are terrorists. They're feeding the hatred. And here's my concern. I've been doing this for a long time. It's a matter of time before ICE takes a life or an ICE agent loses their life because the rhetoric is at an all-time high and is being fed by people who should be more responsible. Elected officials especially, who keep firing up this rhetoric. I'm telling you, it's coming. There's going to be a tragedy because they keep throwing gas on this flame.
And likely those individuals will be charged for the murder because they were directly involved with the incitement, right? This is going to all come, or at least if not, it'll go to court and it'll ruin them.
I'm Giovanna Lana. You're taking a live look at one of the protests underway in Los Angeles just a few hours after the mass immigration
Did she say her name was Giovanna Lana? Are you shitting me?
raids. Chris Christie is live in Air 7 with the latest. Chris.
That's right, Giovanna. It's a major protest going on about 2 hours now. Close to 1,000 people now wrapping around the detention facility between Alameda and Los Angeles Street. They started on the front steps of the federal building at 300 Los Angeles, now marching down Aliso. In the lead there is that cattle truck leading the pack as they make the turn onto Alameda Street. The strategy here is to basically encircle the detention facility, which is that building right there, where we understand there are actually some people inside of the building.
I'm Giovanna Lana. You're taking...
Yeah, Giovanna Lana. That is literally people inciting violence on this building. This is the building that they were inside of. They were kicking in pieces of all this stuff. I mean, this is just insane. Check this part out. I mean, you guys are literally under duress, under threat. This is not good at all, right? Huge problems that were going on out there. Again, here's them throwing stuff at this is, I think this is the actual Marines. I built it. It's actually probably National Guard, sorry. But there's a point here. I want you to see this dude pops open the hatch while this dude's trying to F with this thing, and dudes are like, whoa, 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 buddy, I don't want you to get killed. This first part's probably cool. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this first part is like, this dude almost lost his life, I think.
I suspended. I built it. I won.
You won?
Yeah, I'm going to do YouTube now.
Oh, okay. Yep, be careful, brother.
Yeah, they would have literally possibly shot you. We do have another funny video of someone trying to stop a car. That one's coming. This Dan Bongino posted this. We are currently seeking information regarding the identity of the persons throwing rocks at vehicles conducting critical law enforcement operations. One of the perpetrators in this video is wearing a helmet, and we're going to use our investigative tools to locate the individual. I strongly suggest you turn yourself in. It's only a matter of time. And I do think we have that video, I hope. Good Lord, there's so many videos. Does it end up being this one? Might be. No, this isn't the one. There is one where he's standing like in the middle of the street and they're literally chucking rocks at people. It's kind of a trip. Donald Trump says, great job by the National Guard in Los Angeles after 2 days of violence, clashes, and unrest. We have an incompetent governor, Newsom, and Mayor Bass, who were, as usual, just look at how they handle the fires, and now they're very slow permitting disaster. Federal permitting is complete. Unable to handle the task, These radical left protests by instigators and often paid troublemakers will not be tolerated. Also, from now on, masks will not be allowed to be worn at protests. What do these people have to hide anyway? Again, thank you to the National Guard for a job well done. And that is for shizzle. Again, hopefully we got some of these. Pete Hegseth talks about how the Marines were on high alert. Yeah, we already mentioned that. Let's see, Gavin, let's see, Trump administration, this is Adam Schiff. Yeah, he was bitching about the fact that Trump went over Gavin Newsom's head. But this just points, again, to the fact that these guys are way too slow to take care of an emergency. They wanted to let it progress. Trump stopped it, and then they bitched about, you took away our authority. You didn't act fast enough. 2 hours for LAPD to get involved? Are you serious, Adam Schiff? Come on, dude. You're ridiculous. No, this is obviously because you guys wanted to attack that facility. You wanted to show what you could do. And in reality, we showed you what we could do. You got shut down. Dan Bongino said the right to assemble and protest does not include a license to attack law enforcement officers or to impede and obstruct our lawful immigration operations. We are thoroughly reviewing the evidence from yesterday's. I already said this one too, right? Yeah, the people, literally, I wish I had the video. I thought I had it up. It's really disappointing. I don't know if I still got the, yeah, somewhere in here. Swear to God they had that video. Dude throwing stuff. Maybe it is down here. Nope, doesn't look like it. Whatever the case, I mean, they were busting up stuff all over the place. It was pretty jacked up. So we'll see if they get any arrests. Hopefully they do. Oddly, ABC, they have suspended Terry Moran. This dude, he did this post, I should say, called Trump advisor Stephen Miller a world-class hater. And for whatever reason, and probably because of some of the lawsuits that have been happening, ABC's like, look, we're trying to actually make more inroads with the current administration, especially, and we'll talk about it in a second, after the Supreme Court said that the White House is allowed to keep AP News out if they so desire. It's okay. They can keep anybody out they want. So this type of stuff is now changing a lot of these news organizations' views on how aggressive they're being towards the president. Because here's the thing. If you want to be involved and invited and actually have news or be the one that can offer it before anybody else, you need to be nicer. Otherwise, fuck you. Boom. So this is what happened with this dude. ABC basically suspended this dude. They're doing an investigation. So Terry Moran's not going to be on the air anymore. For now, anyways. Because of him. He said something crazy. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So, well, I guess the post, if you want to see it, it's right there. Terry Moran, the thing about Stephen Miller is not that he is the brains behind Trumpism. Yes, he is one of the people who conceptualizes the impulses of the Trump movement and translates them into policy. But that's not what's interesting about Miller. It's not brains, it's bile. Miller is a man who is richly endowed with the capacity for hatred. He's a world-class hater. Wow. Most important fact about Terry's, this is Stephen Miller's response, most important fact about Terry's full public meltdown is what it shows about the corporate press in America. For decades, the privileged anchors and reporters narrating and gatekeeping our society have been radicals adopting a journalist's pose. Terry pulled off his mask. He sure did. Yeah, everybody just attacked him. So, yeah, hopefully good. Hopefully good stuff will come from that. Supreme Court allows Doge access to Social Security records and blocks the FOIA release, so they cannot go after them for FOIA requests. So they killed that one in a separate ruling, and then on top of that, they said, yeah, they've got access to those records. That's what they're there to do. So, nope, can't stop them. Sorry. Court also says Trump can ban fake news AP from the White House, or anybody for that matter. The Federal Appeals Court has ruled that President Donald Trump can ban the Associated Press from the White House access. On Friday, the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit handed down an order staying a lower court ruling that had ordered President Trump to restore press access to the AP, stating the White House is likely to succeed on their merits because these restricted presidential spaces are not First Amendment fora opened for private speech and discussion. The White House, therefore, retains discretion to determine, including on the basis of viewpoint, which journalists will be admitted. Moreover, without a stay, the government will suffer irreparable harm because the injunction impinges on the president's independence and control over his private workspaces. Basically saying, we're not even going to do it because it could cause irreparable damage. Big loss for AP and ABC and a lot of other people. Supreme Court mistakenly emailed orders to attorneys ahead of a scheduled release. They did this Friday on accident. It was supposed to come out Monday. We're going to find out what the court was doing, though they kind of had to come out a little early in front of this because they made a mistake, a system glitch. I don't know if this was a leak. Likely, and they're trying to call it a glitch. But whatever the case was, the information was released early and has been leaked. And Supreme Court's had a problem with leaks in the past. And it seems John Roberts has not gotten that under control. They're calling it something different, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Harvard Law Review accused of witness intimidation amid investigation into anti-white discrimination. Literally, they were looking into the anti-white discrimination at the Harvard Law Review. And then in the process of doing that, the individuals that were doing it were then being harassed further and probably even threatened to, dox and everything else. But yeah, a lot of stuff was threatened. And so because of that, there's now a legitimate investigation into Harvard Law Review, probably even more on a criminal side at this point. So we'll find out more as that progresses. Again, got some Epstein stuff here. Okay, so this, again, a lot of people... you want to believe what you're going to believe. I get it. I get it. Kash Patel was on Joe Rogan. I've watched some of this, the show anyway, the Joe Rogan show. I'm going to watch the entire one. But I also ended up recording about an 8-minute segment that talks about Epstein specifically and the fact that Kash actually thinks he's committed suicide. And even handles some of the questions where Joe Rogan posed up a lot of the different stories that popped up. And Kash Patel answers those questions. And again, I'm going to say, just like I said before, and I pissed a lot of people off, and pretty much pissed off the people that are going to believe this no matter what, right? Everyone's been told this conspiracy theory that's running around. And I call it that because most of the shit I believe is conspiracy theories, and a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff is true. Not all of it, though. Not all of it. Okay? Anybody that thinks all of the conspiracy theory stuff is true, I think is being you're just you get to think you get to be right about everything. Nobody's right about everything, right? Come on. Well, we all got some misses in our back door there, So let's call a spade a spade. Let's understand that maybe not everything is the conspiracy theory that we've built it up to, or that maybe part of the psyop was to create false stories to make things confusing, or maybe also that there were people that were intentionally trying to make money off crazy stuff, because when you make up something crazy and then claim you know about it because of some inside secondary source, whether it's true or not, whether you were worked in the building next door and you claim you were in the building, right? There's people that do stuff like that. And then it gives the story credibility and everybody believes it. But here's the thing. First off, credentials don't guarantee honesty. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Probably, hopefully one day say it another time. But credentials don't guarantee honesty. Somebody could have impeccable credentials. Great. Are they an honest person? Because I don't give a shit what your credentials are. Everybody's got credentials. But not everybody's honest. Right? And a lot of people, for the clickbait purposes, take advantage of the fact that people, from a psychological standpoint, from a dopamine standpoint, from a I want something exciting standpoint, they take advantage of this. They literally take advantage of people. I laugh. There's a website that I used to show up on a lot. I don't anymore. It's really funny. Everybody else still does, but I don't. It's really funny. They don't like something I've done or whatever. But all of their headlines of the people that make it into the top 50 now, everything is Intel drop, something you've got to hear. Just these out. And then some of them are people that I follow every once in a while just because I kind of want to see what they're saying. Similar folk, if you will. And it's just they've got these crazy, ridiculous headlines. And then I watch their show and I'm like, you didn't say shit. And it's frustrating. But it works, right? And I can't bitch about the thing that's grabbing the people it's grabbing. I mean, I guess that's good. So we all fall into many different ranges when it comes to trying to figure out what's happening. And the one thing I've noticed the most of on this planet is when people think they've got their mind made up on something, it's damn near impossible to change their mind. And most people that have their mind made up on something are the same people that would say the science is solved on a particular thing or something along those lines. And so many of us are like, that's ridiculous. Of course the science is never settled. We're always learning more. And that's the thing. There's nothing that we know so well that it can't possibly have some more juice inside of it, if you will. So I say all that because this is probably going to piss off some people. He covers some cool stuff here. It's not just the Epstein stuff. There's the Comey is covered in here, and we've also got one other one that's the new discovery with the what the hell is this one about? The doctor, Dr. Fauci. I haven't even listened to that one yet. I'm just kind of looking forward to watching it with you guys. So anyway, let's get through some of this. I've got, I don't know, about 10, 12 minutes of Kash Patel on Joe Rogan, 3-hour show that he did. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, check some of this crazy stuff out.
Me, as the director of the FBI, the former Russiagate guy, when I first got to the Bureau, found a room that Comey and others hid from the world in the Hoover building, full of documents and computer hard drives that no one had ever seen or heard of. Locked the key and hid access and just said, no one's ever going to find this place.
What?
Yeah. So my guys are going through that right now.
What's in there?
A lot of stuff. I mean, that's the thing. People are like, well, okay, go arrest him. And I'm like, okay, well, how about you let me run a methodical investigation while I give over information? Me.
And that, again, just understanding that from a deeper level. One, all the stuff that was in there that was never where it should have been. It wasn't even in SDNY, by the way. It was literally tucked away in a secret closet. So the stuff that's likely going to be in there is probably just beyond words. Maybe some Epstein stuff, maybe. Maybe if not, some of the Russiagate collusion stuff. Who knows? Who knows what's in there? If they tried to hide something, that's usually where you get caught. And the only reason you generally save things is so you can hold it over someone else's head or protect yourself. It's the only reason you keep evidence. Otherwise, you destroy it. You don't hold on to evidence at all, ever. Ever. Unless you need it to protect yourself. So, if there was a bunch of crap in here, it's probably some real dirty stuff. And probably really dirty towards others, so he had the upper hand if they ever tried to get out of line. It's a shame we might have found that Kash. Again, no pun intended. Here's Kash talking about the Dr. Fauci stuff. Again, I haven't listened to this, I don't think.
I mean, we just had a great breakthrough this week on Fauci. So Senator Rand Paul, Senator Kennedy, and I hate naming names because I always forget people, are doing a great job with us on COVID origins. And we've got multiple investigations open on that. But they had always been looking for Fauci's original phone, or not original, but phones and devices he used while he was Fauci back in Trump one during COVID. And nobody had found it till 2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah. Now, look, your audience and everybody listening to it shouldn't jump to the conclusion everything's in there. We'll look at it. We'll pull it. We'll rip it, as we say. And maybe it's deleted. Maybe it's not. But at least we found it. And at least now we can tell the American people we've been looking, because it is of public importance to figure out, did that guy lie? Did he intentionally mislead the world and cause countless deaths? We owe those answers to the American people. And the best evidence ever is always the people's evidence who created it. And so now we're going to go and exploit those hard drives. But I think a victory for the American people that we broke with Congress is that we did find it. We're not done. We're still looking. And we're on the case.
Yeah, big time. And so, yeah, we're in a very interesting place right now. Which one is? I think this is. Yeah, this is the proper one. Here is the part I recorded about him talking about Epstein. And again, I just want to, kind of spoiler. He does say he killed himself, but he does back it up to a degree, and that is might be tough for some people.
This land is your land.
Whoops, no, this is the one.
Hang
Hang on. Let me at least plug this. I spent the time making it. I made this because of I was supposed to play this before did I played this already? Yeah, I did. All right. I'm sure I did. Because it wasn't that good, but whatever the case was. This is what I want. Kash Epstein. Check this out.
Guy was committing the most grotesque acts you can against children. And the media spins up about it. Many in the media protected him. Why? Because of his relationships, who he knew, who his bankers were, who his colleagues were, who was on the island and stuff like that. Some pretty powerful human beings. And so when you peel back the layer and then what happened? The Trump administration, the last go round, decided, no, we're not going to let that go. We're going to investigate him, right? They charge him, they indict him, and he's awaiting trial. And I've said it, Dan Bongino said it, we've reviewed all the information, and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself. Do you think, let's play out the logical conclusion of this, do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's grotesque activities? Or do you think we would also participate in not prosecuting people we had evidence to prosecute people on? Because the problem is there's been like 15 years of people coming in and creating fictions about this that doesn't exist. Where's the videotape of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds? Why haven't you given it to us? Do you really think I wouldn't give that to you if it existed? I'm working my ass off, along with the leadership at the Bureau and DOJ, to get you what we're allowed to give you. And you're going to get the video of the cell. And you're going to see for yourself. And we will never be able to convince everyone.
Okay, let's get into that. So what did you think before you got in office? Did you think that Epstein was murdered?
No.
No suspicion at all of it?
But I have a different background, right?
Right.
So I was a public defender back in the day. I used to spend a lot of time in jails and a lot of time in segregated housing units, SHUs as we call them, right? And so, and I've known people that have committed suicide in these cells. And I know how you get in, how you get out, who works the system. And so the way, based on public information at the time, that he ended up, the pictures and him hanging himself, I was like, yeah, that guy killed himself. There's just no way that you could have run an op and had people go into that cell and not have any video of it and not have any people come out and say, hey, yeah, I saw that guy, he shouldn't have been there, the guard or this guy. There's just no access points into places like this in the detention center he was in, which I've been in.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but what I was told, what I'd read, was that the guards were not paying attention or were sleeping.
Well,
right?
And in short order, you'll see it.
Is that correct?
Well, it's hard to surmise that from a video, right? Like,
right.
Where they and look, do guards doze off on the night shift? Yeah. But no one can get in to the cell. And if they had gotten in to the cell, you would see it.
But we were told that the cameras were down.
Well, I don't know who said that.
But that was in the news.
We're giving you all the footage we have.
So why wasn't that released immediately? Why did this speculation escalate?
I think you'd have to ask whoever the Attorney General back then was, Bill Barr.
Did you ever see, do you remember that HBO autopsy show? Dr. Michael Baden, he's a famous forensic
I don't think I've
scientist. So he's a pathologist, and he reviewed the case, and it was his determination that it was a homicide because of the way his neck was broken. And what he said was it was indicative of a ligature strangulation. And it was because of the positioning on the neck where the marks were, that it wasn't indicative of someone hanging by their weight, which had been higher on the chin. And there's a specific break of the bones and the vertebrae that's consistent with someone who is just strangled to death.
I haven't seen it. I'll definitely take a look at it because that's part of my job.
You haven't seen that?
The report on that? No, I haven't looked at that.
Did you see any, was there any other autopsy done other than the official one?
Not to my knowledge, but if there was, you'll get it. And that's what we're doing.
See if you can find that Dr. Michael Baden thing.
Yeah. No,
Did you remember that show, the HBO show?
No.
Pretty cool show.
No.
So this guy, Dr. Michael Baden, he had a long career of catching murderers, exhuming bodies, finding trace amounts of poisons, different kinds of things. And it was a crazy show, like all these wild ways.
Well, I love watching shows, and I spend a lot of time on planes. So.
Yeah, it was an old show. It was a show like from the early 2000s, I believe. But this guy was like, this very well-respected forensic scientist who would analyze these bodies, and it was his determination that he was murdered.
Yeah. And my job, going back to the core of what I've been doing since I started Russiagate, was to get, and is to get everybody the information.
When did you get, here, Epstein's autopsy points to homicide. Pathologist hired by brother claims. New York City medical examiner strongly disputed the claim that the evidence from the autopsy suggested strangulation. So let's go to the. By the way, this is the New York Times, and they never lie. The private pathologist, Dr. Michael Baden, said in the morning TV show Fox and Friends, Mr. Epstein experienced a number of injuries, among them a broken bone in his neck, that are extremely unusual in suicidal hangings and could occur much more commonly in homicidal strangulation. I think the evidence points to homicide rather than suicide, said Dr. Baden, who observed the autopsy done by city officials. Dr. Baden, a former New York City medical examiner and a Fox News contributor, said, I have not seen in 50 years where that occurred in suicidal hanging case. Findings by Dr. Baden were strongly disputed by the city's chief medical examiner, Dr. Barbara Sampson, who previously ruled that Mr. Epstein's death on August 10th in the Metropolitan Correctional Center was a suicide. I stand firmly behind our determination of the cause and manner of death in this case. Dr. Sampson said in the interview on Wednesday. She added, in general, fractures of the hyoid bone and cartilage can be seen in suicides and homicides. The hyoid bone is near the Adam's apple. Dr. Sampson also dismissed Dr. Baden's contention that the circumstances around Mr. Epstein's death suggested other people may have been involved. She said her office had done a complete investigation, taken into consideration information gathered by law enforcement in making the determination.
So this is a perfect example of going back to my public defender and prosecutor days.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we call a war of experts. You can always find someone to come in and say the opposite.
Right.
And I used to do it all the time. I mean, I represented some of the worst humans that you can possibly imagine on earth. Literally. The guys that were trafficking children from Mexico into America. And you could put up a professional expert to say, and this is what's going to go on forever. And my job is not the forever. My job is to get you absolutely everything that we can give you. And that's what we're going to do.
When did you become aware of this video that showed that no one had gone in and out of the cell?
Recently.
So why was it recent, though? I mean, if this death was, how long ago was this death? 2 years?
Couple.
2019?
2019.
Oh, really? Why? Time flies. So 6 years.
Well, again, that's part of what I'm going to try to answer for you.
Jeffrey Epstein jail CCTV erased by technical errors. Whoopsies.
Yeah.
But you see how anybody on the outside, I mean, this is like a perfect storm for something. Can you pull that article up so we can read what it says, Jamie? U.S. prosecutor said the jail mistakenly saved footage from the wrong cell. Sorry. Epstein, a convicted sex offender, first tried to kill himself in July last year and hanged himself in jail.
Hang on.
Yep.
Reread that line.
That he first tried to kill himself in July of last year. Yeah.
How much of the American public do you think knows that?
I didn't know that until right now.
There you go.
Maybe I heard it and forgot. Did you ever hear it, Jamie?
Well, that's why he's on suicide watch, I think.
Oh, okay.
So a guy
hanged himself in jail in August while serving trial on federal sex trafficking charge. He pleaded not guilty to abusing dozens of girls, some as young as 14. Yeah. Soon after Epstein's death in August, two of the CCTV cameras outside his cell had malfunctioned and were being examined by the FBI. Found semi-conscious in his prison cell with injuries on his neck on 25th of July. After this incident, he's placed on suicide watch.
I'm not saying every single camera in the place was working. I'm saying we've got footage and you're getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can make up your own mind. And the theories can continue. But my job
So you became aware of this footage recently?
The ones that we're looking at, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but this is like an article.
So just to cover some of the key points that a lot of people talk about. Again, I hope, here's the thing. I've been wrong many a time. I've been wrong on the show, been called out on it, and had to kind of fall on that sword. One of the most important things that's ever going to happen for any of you guys in real life is when it seems that evidence is being produced that suggests that your theory may not be the best theory. There's a point where you've got to be able to step back and go, maybe I'm not right on this one. Because you're not right 100% of the time. You are not right 100% of the time. I am not right 100% of the time. Know that. Understand that every once in a while, there's some bullshit stories floating around out there. Probably a lot more of them than most of us realize. So here's the thing that we do know from this point in time. Okay? Yes, all the stuff that looks like Epstein easily could have been killed. That's what I thought happened. I thought they killed him. I thought they smoked him. I figured he was dead. I didn't think he killed himself, but I did know the suicide watch. I remembered that, but I also didn't believe it when that came out. Like, again, I thought a lot of this was cover so they could smoke him. And that might still be right, but it doesn't matter. Right now, all right, he committed suicide. Okay, he's dead. I still think he's dead. I don't think he's alive. Now, again, there's specific other people, like a lot of people, well, what do you think about Kennedy? What do you think about, I don't know. A lot of people thought Elvis was still alive when I was living in Tennessee. I don't know. Right? What's absurd to one man might not be to another. But here's the thing. When somebody presents you evidence that suggests that, one, camera angles they didn't have Epstein's actual cell. That got moved. That got deleted for whatever reason. Maybe that was so it would never go public. Maybe the FBI was behind that, right? Who knows, right? Who knows? But the camera of the one that shot down the hallway where the door was to his cell, there was a cell door and there was an external hallway camera that they have footage of. And what they know of is during the time of Epstein's demise, nobody went in or out of the cell. Now, again, is that easy to fake? Yes. We've all watched plenty of videos to suggest. Now, the only way, in my opinion, I don't know, this is my opinion right now at this point in time, the only way anyone would have tried to have kept him alive, think about it. He knows too much, right? So easily, if anything, someone smoked him because he knew too much. But again, it's the files, it's the computers, it's all that stuff that matters, right? That's the evidence. What he knows or thinks or how much money he made, where he flew, who was on the plane with him, who got a massage from who. I don't know how much that matters as much. I don't know. First off, would you remember every single, hundreds of people have been massaged in your house in the past 3 months? How many of those individual specific things do you remember? Oh, yeah, it was that one girl. She was blonde. You don't know any of these people. He's better off dead. There's no way they'd leave him alive. And I think witness protection makes no sense. I just think people give Epstein way too much power as an individual. He knew a lot. It's no, he was a player. He was a cog. He made millions of dollars to be able to do what his job was, probably for Mossad, but we don't know for sure. There's just no damn way he's alive. There's just no damn way. The dude got smoked. I still think he got smoked. Because again, you could take an image of a hallway that never changes and just loop it. So that would be easy to do. I don't know if there's any way they can tell. There is, I think. Well, I don't know. I don't think you could because there's nothing changing in the scene. So you really never figure it out. I don't know. Whatever the case is, it seems like Epstein's potentially dead. They had a little bit more fun stuff. Let's check this out.
What about the video from the island?
Oh, sorry. So you're talking about two different things.
Sorry.
So again, we're going to give you everything we can, and people have to remember, we're not going to re-victimize women. We're not going to put that shit back out there. It's not happening, because then he wins. Not doing it. You want to hate me for it? Fine. Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
If you have access to it.
If I have it. Period.
Right.
If I have it.
So
where else would it be?
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So far.
Everything we have so far is
Have you guys gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn time.
Right.
And
is there video from the island?
Not of what you want. The people out there have filled the void with can't wait to see X, Y, or Z.
Right, speculation.
And that kind of goes back to the point he was making, right? A lot of speculation is done by people. As much as I hated it, and this is one of those I was wrong moments I'm going to share with you guys, and it still, I used to kind of laugh about it even after the effect, and I think at this moment right now, it just dawned on me how accurate it was. And their IT manager at this company I worked at was it was a New Zealand healthcare manufacturer. It's a great company. I enjoyed working very much. I some of the greatest people I ever had the privilege of working. I got to do some really, really fun stuff. Created all sorts. I learned coding. I got Visual Basic. That's where I really started doing a lot of fun stuff with that and databases. Anyway, it was a blast. So the IT manager used to talk about, like, whenever there was a problem with something, I used to enjoy speculating. Right? I'd like to speculate. What if it's this? What if it's this? And I tried. It was kind of my way of learning how to troubleshoot better, which ultimately is what I ended up doing more down the road. But what he called it, and what, like I said, like I balanced it into the, well, I'm troubleshooting, but I really didn't have the background, the chops. I was just guessing. And the problem was happening, and he'd call it useless speculation. It was one of the greatest things that didn't really make sense more until right now for me. It's one thing to have snippets of potential information that might not even be real, because people keep making shit up. And then you remember it and you're like, yeah, so we didn't have any viewage of all of the cell. That's not really true. There was other angles potentially. Now, again, if they smoked the one evidence, why didn't they smoke the others, right? Maybe that one they looped because they could. I don't know if actual things happen often enough where they saw a patrol walking through when it should have. There's probably maybe some markers that could be used to verify whether or not it's been looped or not. Like you see somebody walking through one hallway, open the door, and you never see it happen in the other image, which it should follow. Because a lot of the times, there are multiple images or videos in one actual screen. So again, the way we speculate as a people has created a lot of falsities. Just has. Like it, don't care. There's a lot of stuff that's out there right now that a lot of us believe for sure happened that might not be correct. Might have been created by somebody on our side of the fence, could have been the CIA, could have been an accident, could be people with an ego trying to get more clicks, could be whatever. I could probably list off 10, 12, 15, 20 different easy reasons. So understand, we're in an information war. And there's far too many people that believe every fucking thing that is said. Everything. There's way, way, way too many people that believe every crazy-ass story because it's a crazy-ass story, and we don't believe the establishment, but we believe every crazy-ass story against them or whatever. And again, they're fun rabbit holes to go down. It's part of the awakening process, but you've got to learn discernment. You've got to be able to have some sort of some sort of foot on the land when you're stepping off into the crazy, right? Or some sort of anchor into reality to ground yourself. Otherwise, you can end up in all sorts of crazy places of reality that is not the same for anybody else. Doesn't make it right either. So again, I hope it helps. Hard to say. I know I'm taking long on this one, a lot of video. GOP's bracing for its first test run on codifying Doge cuts. This is going to be fun. Because most of the Doge cuts are pet projects, pet peeves, pet money, money that's going into politicians' pockets. Oh, most of it, assuredly. Now, can I prove it? No, I don't have any proof whatsoever of that, so don't believe a damn thing I say. I only say that as a disclaimer. Because I don't know. But I guarantee you, we're going to find out which projects that are bullshit that they're going to fight for. And when you see who fights for what, you'll know who's getting paid by what. We don't need to necessarily figure this out. It'd be great if some of you guys can. I think a lot of people will, especially in some of these states where we've got some of these politicians that I think have to either A, get on the bandwagon, or B, go. Get replaced, hopefully. Hopefully there's somebody that's worth a shizzle that can replace them. We'll see. That's also tricky. But this is going to be an interesting little test of the emergency broadcast system. Trump reportedly urged Senator Graham to weaken his Russian sanctions bill. He wanted to charge 500% tariffs on any country that does business with Russia. 500%. Well, that's China and India. You want to talk about shutting down the stock market there, Lindsay? Little Lindsay? Such a girl name. Whatever. He's probably got a micro penis. Is there a way to tell, like, are there any, like, facial tics of any individuals? I'm just curious if anyone knows. You guys hit me up with information. Maybe I should look it up. I'm just curious. Lindsey Graham strikes me as that micro penis kind of guy. I don't know why. He's just got micro penis written all over his face. It'd be funny if I had a Sharpie and he fell asleep. Oh, Lindsey. I don't know who wrote that on your face. Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing either. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. Shame on them. They're bad people. New Russian sanctions bills on hold over Trump's stance. Yeah, Trump stood firmly. Now, whatever. This is Lindsey Graham. Basically had a chit chat with Trump, and Trump's like, "You motherfucker, what are you doing? What are you doing? You literally are a senator. What the fuck are you doing? Threatening relationships with China, India, and Russia. Who the fuck are you?" I guarantee you that's how the conversation went. It was about 15 seconds, and then the phone fucking hung up. And Lindsey's like, "Yeah, no, I understand. So, yeah, I'm going to support the President Trump." Yeah, you can fall on that sword and stab yourself with it about 16 more times, you bastard. It's a metaphorical sword, too. Yeah, take that and shove it up your metaphorical butt. Bastard. Dislike that mofo. Oh, who's the other one? Who's that Utah dude, that bastard? Oh, my God. And then we got Murkowski. We got the Collins. We got some shit-ass Republicans that gotta go. Ron Johnson I think I like. Holly. So anyway, I think he's good. I want to say. And there's a chance. He's on the good side possible. Who's the other one? Who's the other guy? Short hair. Kind of almost looks like Pete Buttigieg a little bit. It's kind of, I don't know, whatever. I forget that guy's name. I partially just wanted to say Pete's name again. Only once. Well, the futures are up. They're looking bright. You need shades, I guess. Yeah, so whatever. We'll see how it actually plays out. Some crazy news is probably coming out on Monday. Or if Musk doesn't back down, then again, there's already been the story put out how he's potentially been places like Diddy parties and stuff. Trump's definitely never been to a Diddy party. So, again, they always say people who live in glass houses should not throw stones. People who have karma themselves should not attack others. You shouldn't. And attacking, you should be really careful. Calling out the truth is one thing. Like, that's what I try to do. I try not to just go after. Like, there's a lot of stories like that attack people because of they're gay or transgender, or because they're this or that, or because they're Democrats, or because they're I don't know. That's not cool, right? But if you're saying something stupid, oh shit, yeah, I'll attack you, call you names and stuff. Yeah, it's fun. It's a good time. And again, maybe the names isn't the best thing. If I was trying to mend relationships, this is why Trump keeps getting pissed off too. Like whenever he's ready to mend relationships with somebody, he starts speaking nicely of them. This is how you know who he's working deals with. So right now, and he'll still be stern, but he gives respect and, he's cool about it. And he even let Musk go in a positive way, trying very hard to do things in the right way. And then Musk went on the attack. And it's just like, all right, dude, shit. Like the same thing. So if, like Zelensky, he's another great example. Musk, well, he had his moment in the White House, obviously. That was disrespectful. And then he got much nicer. He's everyone's friend. And then he dicks us with this NATO move where he did something behind Trump's back. Damn near causing serious repercussions. But, from what we understand, he's screwed. And I feel bad for the Ukrainian people right now because they're kind of caught in the middle of this. I think Russia has enough love for them as former members of the Soviet Union to, I don't want to just annihilate your whole damn country. I really would like to see you guys have an election, get a leader that can, I think Putin's behind that concept. Look, the world's getting weird. World's changing fast. We don't know what's going on. Being in this system, being in the stock market, this is not a good idea, man. This is one of the things I've come to. It's not what my friends at Goldco necessarily think or don't think. I mean, some of them might agree, might not, whatever. That's not what they're there to do. I think having money in the stock market's crazy. If it's specific stocks, there's some things that are probably going to be in the future a good thing. And so, like me, Rumble, that's just an example I like to give. right? You got to have a couple stocks in there. It's cool. I get you. But if you're in some sort of mutual fund that's managed by the deep state, Vanguard, BlackRock, any of these guys, right? Even Fidelity, who knows? I don't know if they're necessarily deep state. I don't know for sure. But you tell me. Who knows what they're investing in, what companies they're investing in? I just don't trust any of that crap at all at this point, especially. Precious metals holds value. That's what it does. Holds value, all right? So there's a process to get from A to B, but my good friends at Goldco are amazing at making it happen legally and tax-free, okay? Legally, no penalties, no tax. Sideways movement. It's actually physical metals. They have to acquire them. Then they put them into a trust that can't be in your hands. If it's in your hands, then you've got the money. If you've got the money, then they cashed out and you're going to get penalized and taxed. You get it? So that's how the weird game plays. So many steps that happen to get you to a place where you're holding physical metals in a trust. That physical metals, which you can at some point just be like, hey, send me the metals. And they'll be like, okay, it's going to be like sending you wealth and income. And you're going to be like, I know. And they're going to be like, okay, cool. As long as you understand, we're going to report to the IRS. Here's the signature. You got to sign it here. And so the physical metals come to you. Certified mail. There's a lot of interesting avenues, but the hard part's getting to the physical metals from the 401k or the IRA. Diversification is what we call it. I think it's a great idea. It's always held the value. It's the value. It's what you can buy with things. Now, right now, silver was at 36 when I was looking at it. 36? 36, 130. Right? Or 36.13, sorry. So 36 bucks. I used to say it was 5 loaves of bread. I feel like that's not really an appropriate analogy anymore. It's like I got to come up with a better one because the price has gone up too much, right? I don't know what costs, 6, I have to say 6 of something probably because 36 and 6 just makes it easier, but now I'm getting into gross numbers. So there's a problem here. Here's the thing. It holds value. And I used to use the analogy of 5 loaves of bread, and it looks like it's actually gone up a little higher than that, but one silver coin, you can buy about 5 loaves of bread. Okay? If the price of bread goes up, that might not be the same as dollars. So over in this pile, I've got a stack of $35, and right here I got a coin. This coin will buy 5 loaves of bread. $35 might not. I'll buy 1 loaf this week. Cool. I've still got $30 left, right? Assuming they're $5 each. And then the price of bread goes up. Oh crap! It's $7.50 each. All right. So now next week I've had to actually take a bigger bite. I'm actually going to lose half of 1 week. But the price of silver would have gone up. It held its value. You've still got another 4 loaves of bread, no matter what the price becomes. It holds the value. It's, I don't know, kind of like a battery. It's a neat analogy, too. Someone didn't like it. It's reasonably well, because batteries bleed, and there's this, whatever. There's a lot of crap that goes into it. Point is, being in the system's not a good idea. Getting out of the system is a good idea. Doing it efficiently is legally, and with some perks, by the way, up to 10% free silver. You're going to get a free book, your future. You're going to get that free Ronald Reagan coin. You're going to get a whole bunch of crap. 4 data points. Click the button. They're going to say call us within 20 minutes or whatever. Call them. Talk to them. Say, here's what's going on in my world. Dan told me about you guys. He says you guys don't necessarily believe all the crazy crap he says, but he says you guys are like the best. And I want to go with the best. They are the best customer service you're ever going to get. I say it down here. I trust only Goldco for my precious metals investments. They are kind, professional, and bar none the best customer service out there. It's been the best. It's been a great experience. I've loved it. Go to drslikesgold.com. 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 Get out of that system before they get out of you. And that's what they seriously want to do. Blumenthal's casting doubt on Abrego Garcia's prosecution. Says charges are not evidence. Right? If you guys didn't know, this guy got back on Friday. And Richard Blumenthal, Democrat, of course, like just because you guys say he's guilty doesn't mean he's guilty. Guy gets his day in court. So whatever, that's happening. Pam Bondi's putting the case together. She alleges Democrat Darling Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a pedophile who trafficked children, narcotics, and firearms. She seems to have the goods. We'll play some of this.
This is especially disturbing because Abrego Garcia is also alleged with transporting minor children. The defendant traded the innocence of minor children for profit. There are even more disturbing facts that the grand jury uncovered. It is alleged this defendant is part of the same smuggling ring responsible for the death of more than 50 migrants in 2021 after the tractor trailer overturned in Mexico. This is part of that same ring. The defendant abused undocumented alien females, according to co-conspirators who were under his control while transporting them throughout our country. This defendant trafficked firearms and narcotics throughout our country on multiple occasions. They were using vehicles, SUVs, with added seats in the back, floors that had been ripped out, guns, narcotics, children, women, MS-13 members. That is what the grand jury found. A co-conspirator alleged that the defendant solicited nude photographs and videos of a minor. A co-conspirator also alleges the defendant played a role in the murder of a rival gang member's mother. These facts demonstrate Abrego Garcia is a danger to our community. We want to thank the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, our state and local partners, our acting U.S. Attorney Robert McGuire, and prosecutors from the Joint Task Force Vulcan.
I'm pretty sure if she was actually taking a shower, like I was living with her, you know, I was like her husband. I don't think that chick could take a shower without me bugging the hell out of her. Dadgummit, I would be in there every time. Be like, you sure you don't need any help washing something? I'm fine. Why do you always come in here naked though? I don't know. I think I'll be in here while you're here, just staring at things. Don't worry, I'll be just back here, minding my own business. Yeah, we are literally shutting down this dude. Salvadorian and native Kilmer Abrego, newly returned to the U.S., appears in court on charges of trafficking migrants. In fact, they're keeping him in jail. They're not letting him out, so he's staying in jail. Here's, of course, Mr. Miller, or Stephen Miller, the, I guess, most, what is he, the angriest man? I forgot what his cool title was, but dadgummit, he's a good job. He looks very angry right there. Yes, frowny face. I like your frowny face, my friend. Let's see, that's good enough. We'll go there. Let's do it. Rock and roll. Here's him on Hannity. Spilling the beans, I think, and saying what needs to be said. And, dude, shit's changing, folks. That's what's happening.
Look, we're going to be dealing with this for decades to come. It doesn't remove every known terrorist that we don't know where they are in the country that they allowed in, or the cartel members, or the gang members, or the murderers, or the rapists, or the other violent criminals, or the drug dealers. But we stopped the influx of illegals. Now we're in the process of trying to find all the people that Biden let in and get rid of them. That's a Herculean task.
Yes, it's a mammoth task. As President Trump has said, Biden flooded this country with millions and millions of illegal aliens, many of them rapists, murderers, gang members, terrorists, human smugglers, child traffickers, and every kind of criminal and thug that you can imagine on planet Earth. But let's begin by celebrating the incredible news that President Trump, as you mentioned, Sean, has achieved the most secure border with the lowest level of illegal crossings in U.S. history. Sean, I've been studying and following and working on this issue for a long time. There is no nation anywhere on planet Earth that has achieved such a rapid success on its border in any time period as President Trump has achieved here in the United States. Going nearly overnight from an open border to a sealed border surely ranks as one of the great achievements in the history of domestic policy and national security. Now, you mentioned another breaking news story tonight, Sean. The Department of Justice has indicted the illegal alien terrorist from Maryland, the so-called Maryland man, who is actually a foreign terrorist from El Salvador, to make him face justice for his monstrous crimes against humanity. Another huge win for the Trump administration. Thanks to weeks of investigative work, this illegal alien monster is going to be held accountable for his terrible crimes against women and children. And then guess what, Sean? After he does hard time in an American jail, guess where he's going? Right back to El Salvador. What do Democrats have to say about this now? They celebrated this guy. They worshiped this guy. They treated him as a hero. Now he's been indicted by a grand jury for committing some of the most heinous crimes I've ever read about. He's going to do hard time in our jails, and then he's going back home where he belongs, to El Salvador.
Here's my worry. In spite of everything that you have accomplished, and you are right in expressing, we've never been able to secure a border this fast. There's never been a more preventable national security disaster like this. But in spite of all of these great efforts in record time, you, the president, vice president, Kristi Noem, Tom Homan, everybody involved here, I don't know how you find every terrorist. I was asking Dan Bongino about it this week. How do you possibly find people that we don't even know are in this country, the gotaways that got in? We don't know where they came from. 200 countries? I've got to imagine that my prediction, it's a matter of when, not if, and is going to turn out to be right. I mean, I would argue last weekend in Boulder was a terrorist attack. And I think we have to, we have a million
It was a terrorist attack from a Biden illegal. It was a terrorist attack from a Biden illegal that was given a work permit by Joe Biden.
A million FBI man hours spent on the border, Stephen?
So you're right. This is the thing that gives me the greatest concern about the future of this country is the millions of unvetted, unchecked, and just unknown foreign nationals who have been deposited into this country, not to mention the millions more visa overstays embedded into all of our communities, some operating at the direction and control of foreign governments, foreign enemies, foreign terrorist organizations, not to mention the cartels, which have spread so much bloodshed across this hemisphere that do business with some of our worst adversaries. But it's why, Sean, and I'll say this now, it's why it's so important to pass the president's big, beautiful bill, because that legislation hires 10,000 new ICE agents to go and find these killers and terrorists. It funds the detention beds we need to keep these people off our streets. It funds the planes we need to fly them back home. It also funds the creation of Homeland Security task forces with FBI, ATF, ICE, Homeland Security investigations, and others to prioritize the disruption and dismantlement of foreign terrorist organizations in our cities. And of course, it funds the entire phase 2 of the Wall project across the entire southern border. That funding and the authorities in this legislation, Sean, are the best chance that we have of giving our president, our commander-in-chief, our leader, the tools that he needs to keep America safe.
Leader. Yeah, he's killing it. Captured illegal alien attempting to join ISIS after Biden released him. We captured that mofo. So, again, a lot of things happening, and it's not working out well for the bad guys. CCP is apparently orchestrating fentanyl crisis to take out generations of young men. They talked about that as well in the show with Joe Rogan, which was pretty cool. Obviously, Chinese guy going, "It's good!" No, that's not what he's doing. Chinese billionaire quietly buys land near U.S. defense contractors. I'm doubtful he's talking about a field goal. It's probably something. I wish I was this big. No, probably not that either. Not sure what he's saying. Don't know. But yeah, he's bought a bunch of land right next to a bunch of defense contractors out in New Hampshire. Billionaire, bunch of land, multiple acres, 23 acres to be precise. Quietly sold to him in January before Trump got into office. I wonder if only. Yeah. Conservative Colombian presidential candidate Uribe was shot in the head. Yes, not cool. This is in Bogota. Not good at all, obviously. Getting shot in the head. He's in critical condition. He's still alive. If he lives through this, dude's going to be pissed. I'll tell you what, you don't take a shot to the head and go into a coma for a while and not hold a grudge. I want to remind you guys about My Pillow. I want to spend a lot of time on it. Mike's still in his trial. I don't know if he's going to be coming on next week or not. We'll see when and how that happens. But you certainly want to use the coupon code OTF. It's actually a pretty cool coupon code. You're going to get a free roll and go little 2.0 pillows. It's got the American flag on it, so it's very bitchin'. You're also anything over $100. You're going to get digital coupons worth $100. They haven't showed up yet. When they do, I'm going to tell you what those coups are, man. And I hope they're good, because that'll be a 2.0 thing. Bummed me out a little bit, right? They took it off my page because I couldn't say anything nice about it. I'm too honest is the problem, guys. I'm way too honest. I'll be honest. That's the problem. I'm nervous. I get nervous because it's just like, oh man, I like this company, but a lot of times love this company. In fact, the sheets, the best. That fourth corner, like I don't know you guys, like that fourth corner, like I've literally torn sheets putting the fourth corner on because they just are freaking too tight. Not with My Pillow. Never. It's been awesome. I think it's because they plan on having a topper in there too. They're like, dude, buy another 3 inches to shove in there and see what happens. Right? So, I don't know. I think that's their thinking, but there's plenty of room. They've got the regular Giza, their high thread count, $49.98, any size, any color. The Percale sheets, $29.98, any size, any color. Rev 7, awesome energy drink. You should seriously check it out. They got a free 3-pack. Just try it. It's incredible. There's like no calories, no anything in it. It's like somehow devoid of things other than energy. It's liquid energy that tastes delicious. It's wonderful, in fact. $9.99 for the kitchen towels. These their towels are the best. Their towels are like the quicker picker upper, the literal better quicker picker up. You can put so much moisture in them. They absorb moisture. They literally, like I rub it on my glass door in the shower, and it's just one wipe, and it comes, the water's gone. There's no water there. Usually, like a lot of towels, it smears a little, right? But it got most of it. You know, you go one more time, it's like, oh, it's gone now. No, one time, right? Like the Brawny commercials, the quicker picker upper, right? These guys nailed it. They got it figured out. And they got beach towels too. They got like towels. Any towel they got, it's going to do that absorbing thing. And their bathrobes, by the way, are going to do that absorbing thing. Like the best. Dog pillows, dog bed. Oh, sorry. What's the difference? Do you love your dog? You want to give them a pillow that's big enough to sleep on so they're stoked and happy? There you go. Right there. Dog bed. It's low as $39.98 right there. Yeah. Rex is going to be happy, that's for sure. And if you got old Gus just is old, man. She's not going to learn anything. Come on, man. She's 800 years old. This chick, she can't even see. She's got, right? This is the one that you get the pet blanket for. You got that couch that's decent. Yeah, brand new couch. You want to get a new couch, but you're worried about the doggy? There's a way to get around that. They got their spot. They like to go to that spot. Usually if you put the bed there, or the couch there, or the pillow, whatever, the blanket damn thing. If you put it there, and then say, this is yours, this is special. Make it like a deal for them. They'll be all excited. Trust me. They love that. And then they'll just lie on that. And then there you go. You've accomplished everything. You can donate to help Mike Lindell, by the way. Please help now. It's a great way to do that from mypillow.com/OTF. Yeah. Again, the pillows, best pillow ever, starts at $17.98. I love this stuff. I really do. I have a bunch of, and none of it's been given for free. I pay exactly what you pay every time I buy. I literally go to the same site and order it. I do. I pay what you pay. That's what I pay. I don't get any freebies. I will say I asked them for a couple giveaway pillows for the trip in Houston. That's different. They're not for me. I like to know what your guys' experience is going to be and then whether or not that's cool. That's the customer. Anything that I'm advertising, generally speaking, is I've had my experience. I've got one small exception, but I don't really talk about them a lot yet. I've got to work through this small dilemma. Once I do, then I'll be able to talk about it, right? So that's exactly how it goes. mypillow.com/OTF. I'm literally telling you, this is some great stuff. You should check it out. Go to mypillow.com/OTF. Use the OTF coupon code. Save yourself a bunch of money, get some free stuff, and get the best night of sleep you've ever had. Yeah, seriously, all of that in just one coupon code with 3 letters. You're getting all of that. That's pretty good. Ukraine just gave Putin a reason to bomb the hell out of him. Trump told us this. I don't know if you've heard this or not. Anyway, play it quick.
The bombers inside Russia, the airfields, did that change your view at all of what Zelensky, the cards he has?
Well, they gave Putin a reason to go in and bomb the hell out of him last night. That's something I didn't like about it. When I saw it, I said, here we go. Now it's going to be a...
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah. Now he's going to bomb the crap out of him, which that's exactly what happened. And, of course, this was discussed in other areas. This is just mainly for this little repeating gif, if you will, here. But Russia hit Zelensky hard. A couple key things. And many are saying, this ain't done. This ain't done at all. So there's a lot of damage being had at this point in time. Most Russians, by the way, there was a poll they did recently. We are their 4th hated country. Yeah. Dude, folks, we're coming a long way. We're coming a long way. Russians, I'm here to meet you. Meet me halfway across the sky. That's a great song. That said, that actually might be a good inspiration. Meet me halfway. That might be. I had another idea going, but sometimes I'm inspired. Meet me halfway. Let's write the words right. I actually was trying to write half without thinking about it, and I was writing the word office. Meet me half. All right, we'll get there. All said, yeah, we got it going on. I've got the music pulled, too, for the Houston trip, by the way. July 4th coming up soon. I've got to plug it a lot. 2-a-days is the place we're going to be at. Please come join us if you can. We will be out there, again, 4 to 6 p.m. Central Time, 2-a-days. We're going to be doing the show live. Got some cool stuff for people that show up in person, and we are going to Yeah, broadcast it as well. And I'm going to try to, like, I don't know, bring some people up on the camera. So it'll be on my laptop. So I'm not taking all my rig. I can't take all this crap with me. That's just too much stuff to do this that way. I got a nice handheld microphone, and I'm going to use my smaller board. That's about as hardcore as I'm going with the tech. And then it's just try to shove as much stuff in that I can take with me, right? So we're going to see what happens, but I hope you guys come out. 2-a-days. It's on Pearland Avenue, I think it is, or Parkway or whatever, but it's 2-a-days, and it's going to be a lot of fun. 4th of July. There's probably going to be some fireworks reasonably close by, too, in the sky, so you can stand outside if you're a smoker, which most of the people that listen to me seem to be. I'm going to love it. I'll be standing out there with you. But there'll probably be some fireworks going on, too, and a lot of good times, a lot of good food, a lot of good fun. So please come on out and enjoy that. So, yeah, again, Russians don't hate us as much. Germany's number 1. United Kingdom's number 2. Good job. Brits are still top 3. Very good. And Ukraine at number 3. At number 3. Ukraine at 43%. So, yeah, we came in, I think, at number 4, which is, it's a step in the right direction. Iran purchased enough fuel to make 800 ballistic missiles. Though, of this purchase, I wonder how much. Remember they had that explosion not too terribly long ago? And it was rocket fuel, the stuff sent from China? Yeah, well, that was some of this, probably. Whatever the case is, we'll see how much of it actually makes it to Iran's border. Syria is allowing a UN team to immediate access to a suspected nuke site. There's a site that goes back to 2007. This was supposedly North Korea helped Syria build a nuclear reactor. It was never for power. It was always to produce enriched fuel, or essentially to create, that's why they do it a lot of times anyway, to make nuclear fuel. So this is something that they want to look at. This was supposedly bombed by Israel way back when. I think that was the 2007 thing, maybe. Yeah, it was attacked by jets back then. I don't know when they actually made it. I don't see another date jumping out at me, but whatever. We probably don't know for sure, but it definitely was not for electricity. Not configured to produce electricity, meaning there was no power wires coming off it. And that makes it more obvious, right? So a lot of times they just want to put a building in a place where, they can, it's just a thing, and if you put wires coming off it, now we know exactly what it is for the most part. So Syria's going to let people check it out. We'll see. Captain was arrested as a New York City boat explosion forces 22 passengers to swim for their lives. Yeah, they didn't look like they were too far away from land, though, based off the image I'm seeing. Oh my God, I had to step onto the side. Maybe they had to get it wet. There was quite a few people. I thought one of these things had an image of it, I thought. Let's see if that's it or not. I don't know. Him getting arrested. Do they have... Come on. Be kind. Don't rewind. It's a bummer. Their front page actually showed it. They had a GIF going for it, which they don't share here, which is really not cool, by the way. Whatever the case is. They burned up their boat. There was looked like about 18 people on the top. This boat's not very big. It's maybe 20 feet. It wasn't real big. I don't know specific exact dimensions, but I had a buddy that had a 17-foot Boston whaler, and I've been on a couple boats, not many. Couple. Proud Boys leader pardoned by Trump. This is going to sue the federal government for $100 million. We'll see where it goes. He probably should get something. He definitely got railroaded. I think a lot of these people deserve something in return. Republican lawmakers tee up a battle over transgender sports in Oregon, as some people say. It's Oregon. I don't know. I don't like this whole over-pronunciated side of it. What was Nevada's the other one? What do you guys always called it? Nevada. People, I feel like they pronounce that one. Anyway, whatever. Getting sidetracked. Too easy to do at this point in the show. Republican lawmakers team this up, though. They want to see if we can get this across the finish line. We got to get dudes out of chick sports. Done. That Gainer chick, man. I think all professional female athletes should be tested for birth sex. I think every single one of them should. I hate to say it. I know there's a lot of them that are going to be all offended and be like, oh, what? You think I'm a boy? Yeah, I do think, actually. You're giant. You're giant chick. You could be a girl, But I want to see, just want to make sure, that's all. I want to make sure that when you use, secret deodorant, that it's okay, right? Because if you're a man pretending, that stuff might burn your armpit. I don't know what the threat was, strong enough for a man but made for a woman. What does that even mean? Why couldn't I use it? Does it smell gay or something? What? I don't know. Never knew. It's not like they put it in a pink thing, like my friends that used to smoke that would have a pink lighter because they figured people wouldn't steal a pink lighter. And then I always had that one friend that had like 4 pink lighters. Yeah, hopefully you picked up on what happens there. Trump signs order on deregulated flying cars and supersonic flight. It's odd they talk specifically about electronic cars that are flyable. They don't want to give us too much distance. It's still a weird control thing that the deep state's implying or inputting, whatever, making us live by. But eVTOL, it's cool that they're going to do it. I mean, I'd be willing to buy one unless they're stupid expensive. They have that new one they're going to be using for the Olympics. That thing's done well, 150 miles an hour. Kind of cool. They're going to start testing that. So soon cars will fall from the sky when they crash into each other. Can't wait. That should be fantastic. All right, that was it. So, yeah, much happening in the world, folks, and I can't even imagine what this week's going to bring. I look forward to experiencing that. That's all I got to say. Like, tomorrow, who knows what ridiculous shit they're going to be talking about. It's just, I honestly think I have one of the best jobs in the world. I really do. I hope you guys enjoy the ride. I'm going to stand here with you and help you guys with every step of this as best I can, give the best advice I can, give the best analysis I can, and share some of the secret sauce I got. And then outside of that, we just do our best to get across the finish line. You guys are the ripple makers. I need you to make the noise. I need you to help. You don't have to say what I'm saying. I need you guys to be independent ripple makers. Like, ripple about your own shit. Ripple about stuff that matters to you, right? Like, you don't have to be like copycats of me. Guys, do make noise. Be out there doing. And I think we're going to be fantastic. Remember, we're human beings, so being something more than just sitting back and eating popcorn, I'd rather see you involved. Where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.